Hello students, today I want to welcome you to another social studies lesson. And in today's social studies lesson, we want to focus on Belize ethnic groups and diversity. And when it comes to Belize, we're one country with great diversity of Creole, Garifuna, Mestizo, Maya, East Indian, Chinese and Mennonites living in peace and harmony and merging or coming together as one and considered as the main ethnic groups of the country. Belize is a melting pot of various ethnicities cohabiting in harmony. Look around you and you will see a diversity of cultures which include many different faces merging to become one identity, and that is a Belizean. Then to continue today's lesson, we want to go into the different ethnic groups. We want to go into Creole. Therefore, in Belize, a Creole is any person who has some African blood and in a few instances, some locally born whites. They are mainly the descendants of the slaves brought to Belize in the 18th and early 19th centuries, of subsequently immigrations of people of African origin, and of the British settlers. The basic food of the Creole consists of rice, beans, bread, fish, and most any type of meat. The Creole dishes can be very exotic in flavor, and some include rice and beans, cowfoot soup, crab soup, stew fish, boil up, and kong soup. The Brokdong perhaps comes closest to being their traditional dance, as well as the Bram, which is performed only at Christmas. Most Creoles are engaged in minor manufactures like cabinet making, upholstering and carpentry, trade, construction, and other urban occupations. Many believe in wakes for the dead, obia, and bush spirits like the duende. They subscribe to a number of proverbs, stories, and Anansi tales handed down to them from the days of the mahogany camps. And there are many famous Creole persons, and one that is well known for his Creole music was Mr. Peters, who passed away several years ago. And to continue our lesson, we want to go into the Garifuna. The Garifuna arrived on the island of Roatan, Honduras in 1797, and some 5,000 of them who survived the civil war in St. Vincent were shipped to Roatan and Bonaca by the British. In 1802, about 150 Garinagu were found in southern Belize. The largest group, and from which their arrival in Belize is historically dated and celebrated annually, came on the 19th of November in 1823, when the first settlement was founded in Dangriga. Their food style comprises mainly of fish, cassava, and plantains prepared in a variety of ways. Hudut is one of those main ways. They have been known to intermarry into non-Garinagu communities, but this practice is still very rare. Several dance styles, including punta, make much use of the drum and are attributed to them. They are known for their punta and paranda music today, and the Palacio and Palnabor were two famous Garifuna artists. Then we have the famous Mr. T.V. Ramos, who was the founder of Garifuna Settlement Day. Then remember, the Garifuna also perform a dance that is known as the Jankuna dance, and this dance is mostly performed during the Christmas season. And the Garinago every year, or the Garifuna people, they held what is known as the reenactment on the 19th of November, which is a way to reenact how they arrived to Belize. And to continue with our lesson, we have the East Indians. The earliest evidence of the influx of East Indians in Belize seems to be when the British Parliament arranged for the transportation in 1858 of 1,000 Indians mutineers with their wives and families. They came to Belize as indentured servants, which means they worked under a contract for about 5 years and they were not in slavery. Statistics show that between 1844 and 1917, over 41,000 East Indians were indentured to work in British colonies in the Caribbean. The East Indians that came to Belize again in the 1800s were from Jamaica and were brought mainly to work on the sugar estates established by rich Americans. The East Indians in the Toledo district were good at planting and growing sugar cane and rice, and today are still cultivating rice for marketing. Their food is unique, aromatic, and traditional, employing the use of flavoring like takari, which is made from yellow ginger, or curry powder, kuhun cabbage, and dal, roti are used as festival foods. Their own native dance, the Husemise, is only performed on special occasions. So remember again to note, the East Indians came to Belize as indentured servants, and indentured servants mean that they were allowed to work for about 5 years, and after that 5 years they were allowed to go back home. But many of the East Indians stayed in what is known today as Belize. Then we have the Mestizo. The Mestizo are people of mixed Spanish and Mayan descent, representing roughly about 48% of the Belizean population. They originally arrived in Belize in 1847 to escape La Guerra de Castas, which is the Casta War, when over 70,000 Maya revolted against the 20,000 Spanish throughout Yucatan, annihilating over one-third of the population. The first sugarcane farmers in the country were Mestizo, from when they first settled in the Corozal district, along with their cane cuttings. Due to their background, their food is a mixture of Spanish, Mexican, and Maya. Foods like relleno, escabeche, chimole, empanadas, and tamales came from the Mexican, while corn tortillas were handed down by the Maya. The Mestizo of Corozal and Orange Walk retain a 9-night celebration at Christmas called a posada, whereby they go from house to house asking for posada or shelter. Other customs include fajina, novenas, mascarado, or carnival. Folklore characters associated with the Mestizo are La Llorona, Ixabay, Alox, and El Cadejo. Dances performed at village fiestas include the Mestizada, the Hoghead, Zapateros Harana, including many more. Then we have the Mayans. The earliest records known of the Maya in Belize dates back to 2500 BC, when they inhabited the area now known as Cuello. The area now known as Belize formed only a small part of their great cultural society. The peak of the Maya civilization, the Classic period, when at least 400,000 Maya inhabited Belize, extended from about AD 250 to AD 1000. Shortly after this, the Maya societies declined due to still unspecified causes. Among the reasons are soil exhaustion, disease, and the most probable one that the common people revolted and massacred the ruling class. There are presently 3 groups of Maya living in various areas of Belize: the Yucatec Maya, the Mopan Maya, and the Quechua Maya. The most common food of the Maya is corn prepared in a variety of ways. Turkey and tamales are eaten in all areas, and although most drink coffee, other popular drinks made from corn included pozol, sacha, as well as game meat and a variety of fruits. The Maya believe that the air is filled with the souls of the dead, and that the forests and rivers contain deities including the Tadaduende, Alox, La Sirena, and Sisimito. And a well-known Maya dance is the deer dance. So again, remember, the earliest record known of the Maya in Belize dated back about 2500 BC, when they were found in Cuello in the northern part of Belize. And again, when it comes to the Mayas, there are many Maya temples dated all the way back to history of the early Mayas in Belize. And to continue, we have the Mennonites migrating from the Netherlands in 1790 to Germany, South Russia, Canada, the United States, and Mexico. The Mennonites finally settled in Belize in 1958. Initially, some 3,500 Canadian Mennonites arrived in Belize, and today form communities on the upper reaches of the Belize River, Blue Creek on the Mexican border, Shipyard, Indian Creek, Richmond Hill in the Orange Walk District, Spanish Lookout and Barton Creek in the Cayo District, Little Belize in the Corozal District. They are the major poultry and dairy products producers in Belize. The Mennonites, with their farming tradition, are well grounded in agriculture, and most Belizeans benefit from the sale of their produce throughout the country. Practicing organic farming, they grow peanut, potato, corn, beans, tomato, watermelon, carrot, papaya, sweet pepper, cabbage, and more. It seems as if being a Mennonite has evolved into a culture since their great faith in God is what influences their dress, work, thought, and interaction with each other. Then finally, we have the Chinese. In 1865, 480 Chinese immigrants were brought to British Honduras as indentured laborers or servants in the ship The Light of the Ages. And remember, indentured servants mean that they were not slaves, but they came to work under a contract, which is more or less for 5 years, and after that 5 years, they were allowed to go back home. But instead, many Chinese stayed in Belize. They went to work in the timber camps. They are well known for running shops and retail businesses. They became dominant in the grocery, restaurant, fast food, and lottery trades. In recent years, many Taiwanese have made their homes and established businesses in Belize as part of the economic citizenship program that was being offered by the Belizean government. Chinese who live along the road and in the countryside where the land is arable grow crops like rice, corn, soybeans, fruits, and ornamental plants. The most important festival for the Chinese is the Lunar New Year, which falls on the first day of the first lunar month, usually between late January and late February. Lion dances accompanied by cymbals, drums, songs, and firecrackers are a common sight during these festivities. And again, remember, Belize, we're one country with great diversity, and all the different cultures are merging together to become one, and that oneness is Belizean. Once again, thanks so much for tuning into this lesson. Look forward for more. Remember, you can subscribe for more videos and lessons coming soon. Thanks so much for viewing.